Hey everyone, this is Sarah with Makin Wellness, and I'm here today to answer some commonly asked questions about anxiety and how you can cope with increased anxiety and with increased stress levels during this time. So, as you may know, at Makin Wellness, anxiety counseling is one of our topmost specialties, and the good news with anxiety treatment is that the type of anxiety treatment that we do is called cognitive behavioral therapy. So this type of treatment modality basically has us seeing what your thoughts are and helping you to work towards thinking differently and work towards thinking more positively. So cognitive behavioral therapy, when it comes to anxiety treatment, has extremely high success. Has a really high success rate, which is really great. So if you are noticing that you're struggling with increased anxiety at this time, it's quite important for you to work towards really identifying your symptoms, meaning start to work towards seeing what specific symptoms are bothering you. So there are a lot of different anxiety symptoms. So this overthinking, it's called ruminating thoughts, actually. So ruminating thoughts are basically thoughts that you keep thinking over and over again, and they're quite negative, and they really are not serving you. Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. You're so sweet. There's also the what if thoughts. So what if thoughts are also a huge sign of anxiety. So typically when we start to think, what if, then we start to think something negative after that. Like, what if I lose my job? What if I can't pay my mortgage? What if this? What if that? Those types of thoughts are huge indicators of anxiety. Many times people who struggle with anxiety also have an upset stomach, have some form of IBS or some form of stomach issue as well. That's very common. There could be sleep disturbance. Their eating patterns could be off. You might have a complete lack of routine. You might not be getting ready. You might struggle to fall or stay asleep because your thoughts are keeping you up. You might be on edge. And if you're a guy, you might be feeling more easily irritable than usual. So typically with anxiety, different people who identify with different gender expressions tend to express mental health issues in different ways. So people that tend to be more masculine tend to be more irritable whenever they feel anxious, and also when they feel depressed as well. You might feel completely exhausted, and all of those symptoms are huge indicators that you may have some form of anxiety going on. So, struggling with anxiety, of course, is extremely exhausting. And the whole point of working towards identifying your symptoms is so then we can now work towards the solution. So getting support from your friends, from your family, from a professional counselor that specializes in anxiety can be really helpful. It's really important to have a support network and a support group, either virtually or with your family or with your friends. It's also really important to create a routine where you have self-care and things that you enjoy kind of incorporated into it. So self-care looks different for everyone. This could consist of walking outside. This could consist of reading or meditating, cooking. It can be really anything. It's whatever your interests are, and it's important that you enjoy these types of activities. So for instance, when it comes to exercise, you want to make sure you actually enjoy the form of exercise that you are doing. Another thing with anxiety is that you have increased cortisol levels, which basically cortisol, if you don't already know, it's the stress hormone. So what we want to do is start to slow that release down. If you drink caffeine or coffee or have a lot of teas that have a lot of caffeine, every single time you're having this caffeine, you are releasing more and more cortisol into your body. So what we want to do is we can't discontinue the caffeine immediately because it is a drug and it is highly addictive. But what we can do is start to work towards kind of taking a harm reduction approach, which basically means to slowly cut out the caffeine. That is going to really help you with your anxiety levels to cut it out. Another thing that we can help you with at Makin Wellness is we can help you to create an anxiety action plan. So basically what this consists of is you work with your professional counselor, a licensed social worker, and you go through all of your anxiety triggers or all of your symptoms or all of your things that basically cause you to feel anxiety. And then what we do is we work towards creating alternative thoughts that you can work towards thinking, which then will cause you to feel differently, which then will cause you to have a different reaction. So this is a cognitive behavioral technique that's really helpful, especially with people that struggle with increased stress levels or anxiety. So that type of tool is something that you can create with your professional counselor at Makin Wellness. Another thing too is to really consider, especially at this point in time, there's so many tools online. There's guided meditations. Paul Santisi makes the absolute most wonderful guided meditations there are on the internet, in my opinion. If you go online and search for Paul Santisi meditations, there's a lot of really great ones, and he actually created one specifically for anxiety and depression, which is quite lovely. There's also something called binaural beats. So the way that binaural beats work, and this is actually what Paul includes in his meditations, is that whenever you're listening to the meditation, it plays one frequency in one ear and then a different frequency in another ear, and your brain cannot interpret the two varying frequencies. So then what it does is it actually synchronizes the left and the right hemisphere of your brain and actually alters your brainwave state, slows it down, and you are in an alpha brainwave state, which is the first step of, basically the first step of being in a meditation. So it is really helpful. So actually Baroque classical music has binaural beats in it, or it has this very similar effect to binaural beats. If you go on YouTube and you search relaxing binaural beats, a bunch of stuff comes up, which is really helpful. There's also different guided reflections that you can do, different types of journaling prompts, which are really wonderful. And also looking for online social support. So joining different groups that, you can connect and interact with people. It's really important that you still stay connected with people like your friends and family and different people that uplift you and different people that make you feel good. It's quite important. Working with a professional counselor is really helpful. At this point, even though mental health counseling and addiction counseling and relationship counseling, it is a life-sustaining, we are life-sustaining entity. However, all of us at Makin Wellness are working at home, working virtually to be able to help you out, just so we can help to kind of reduce the curve and everything. So we are still offering services online. The great news is now all of our insurance companies are paying for online counseling, which is something that they weren't doing before. So it's covered by your insurance as long as you have a commercial insurance plan. And the great news is whenever you work with one of our providers, you get individualized anxiety treatment, which means that we do not have a one-size-fits-all approach to anxiety treatment. We really tailor the treatment to every specific client that we have. And because of that, our clients seem to get a better response from our counseling and seem to do a lot better. It's very important that whenever you are in counseling that you are, getting a form of counseling that's not only evidence-based, which basically means that there's research to show that's effective, but also individualized. And that way you're not just a number, and that you're really getting treatment that's specifically tailored for you. The other thing that I really wanted to mention is with this, you're not alone. We are all going through this. We're all going through a ton of different changes, and we're all working towards adapting. And, at Makin Wellness, we are here to help you. If you need someone to talk to, we have a whole team of highly rated providers that are excited to help and can help you. So be sure to reach out. You can give us a phone call at 412-532-1249, with your insurance card to get scheduled in. And, at this time, again, we're working with insurance companies to make sure that your services are covered. So we are here to help. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will definitely see you soon. Keep in mind, if you also have any friends that are struggling with anxiety, or anyone that you feel like could benefit from watching this video, please feel free to share them and to like us on Facebook, so you can get all of our most recent updates. I hope I get to see you all soon, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye.